is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodias.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodyasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of fantasyaccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good afternoon, early evening, however you want to look at it. We are back. Couldn't do the show this morning. Had my operation, had my bursa sac removed. So now I've got to be in this thing for like 2 weeks and stuff. I thought I was going to be in a sling the entire time. Like when I go to Morrissey tomorrow night, I'll be in a sling. So that way maybe I can protect it because, you know, you can't be hitting it and stuff. But yeah, that's why I was off. For those of you that didn't know, I had surgery this morning. It's minor surgery, but they kind of they gave me local anesthesia, but they also gave me a little bit to kind of, you know, make me woozy. And it didn't just make you woozy because like he put it in. I go, you just put that stuff in, right? And he goes, yeah. So they wheel me right into the operating room. And I may remember being in the operating room for about maybe 10 seconds. And then I was out like a light. You know, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff they used when I had my colonoscopy a couple of years ago. So and then I woke up and I was groggy. So when the wife brought me home, I lied down and I just slept. I slept. And I thought of waking up around 1 and do the show, but I was still kind of tired because I woke up at, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not like I slept a ton. So I stayed in bed a little bit more. And I don't even know. Maybe I look like I just woke up because I just woke up a little bit ago. Did a little preparation for the show just so I can get a show in for today. Figured I could take it off, but what the hell? Might as well do a show. I am here. I am blessed to be here another day. So I'm blessed to do this another day. I'm blessed to be with you guys here another day. So surgery went smooth. Nothing happened. Everything, I mean, it was minor. It's nothing. It's no big deal. But it's good that I got rid of it, which is awesome. Awesome. So anyway, what else do we have going on? We got a bunch of things to talk about here. It won't be a really long show. I'm not doing the 2 hours that I normally do. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at Hialeah Park. So all good, and thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button as much as you can on any of these segments, any of the live shows. Always smash, because that gets the algorithms going, and the notification bell comes in big, like on a day like today that I had an issue, so I had to do a show just out of the blue, and you would have gotten the warning that, hey, I'm on. There you go. Like all year cooling, they're on. From Homestead all the way to Vero Beach, they're on. And in Naples, they're on all year cooling and plumbing. Still get those scam calls. Don't you guys get those scam calls too? I signed up for that 1-800 scam thing. Pat in Asheville led me to it. And then I do the thing with Apple, and they still sneak through. The damn scam likely thing still. There's one right now. I always love the ones that you get like Russia or Saudi Arabia or like Brazil, and you're like, I don't know anybody there. How am I getting a call from, It's like the weirdest thing. Damn, dude. They're scamming all over the place. Don't answer anything. Don't sign up for anything on emails. Don't do any of that kind of stuff. Okay. And by the way, a lot of you have been getting screwed. And be careful that you get a DM in your X and it says, "Oh, I'm part of a podcast award and all that." First of all, if you ever get that with my show, it's complete bullshit, because I don't look for any of that. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't put our podcast out anywhere or nothing. I don't care about awards. I don't care about any of that mainstream bullshit. Okay. Nothing. So it's never me, but I see them on my DMs all the time from different people. And so, and I don't fall for them, but just be careful. Just be careful out there, man, because there's a lot of people out there. Yeah. So this person wants to loan me money. You can reach me at, and there you go. I'll be calling soon. Yes, definitely. Yeah. I'll be calling right now. Anyway, we got the great Sean Stanley mastering the program. I am Bursa Sackless Ocean. Well, no, not true, because I have the other Bursa Sack. This one didn't get screwed up, so it's still there. Although there's a part of me going, maybe I should just take this one out for the help, but the insurance ain't going to cover that, because it's not really, it's not damaged. That one was damaged, unfortunately. So that was damaged the day I screwed up my head. I hit my elbow too when I fell, and I must have hit it so hard that forget about it. It wasn't. I iced it several times. I got it down, drained it a couple times, and it's just hopeless. But hey, if it happens to you, that there's an option, that there's a minor surgery. You can take out the Bursa sac and eliminate that issue ever again. So remember, you can overcome, which is the important thing. So thank you all out there. Don't forget, of course, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. It's been a nice little consolidation period for the last several months. So that's been good.
The market did bounce back after that enormous dump yesterday of like 900 points, almost 900 points. It got back 600 of it from yesterday. So we'll see. Eventually, assets will fly. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and the Mag 7, not the stock market. The stock market is garbage, but the Mag 7, most of them will run as the dollar crumbles, and it continues to crumble and all that kind of stuff, and people dumping our debt and all that. So as that gets worse, assets will get better. You know, even Trump tells you assets, because he knows what's happening to the dollar. You know what I mean? So if he's telling you assets, and, you know, make sure you don't have money on you. Only use money to pay off the bills. Never, as I say, not financial advice. Don't have a savings account. Have a Bitcoin account. That's all I say. I've said that for years and years and years. So it is a fact, and you'd be way up now. By the way, congratulations to Steak and Shake. Very nice by them. They are giving their employees, because now you can pay with Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, and their net worth has gone up 10% as a company, and now they bought 10 million of a Bitcoin reserve, Steak and Shake. So now they're paying their employees 0.21 cents, so 21 cents an hour in Bitcoin. So whatever they make an hour, 21 cents every hour, they're making 21 cents of Bitcoin every hour. So that's very smart, and I hope that those employees learn, and that will help build some value for them down the line. So because once you see it, and then you over time you watch how much it grows, you then you let it go, and then you figure it out. You know, it's the people that think that they're in it for 1 month or 6 months. And, you know, by the way, a tip for any of you that are into Bitcoin, you're only going to have about 14 or 21 good days in the year. It's what people don't understand. The rest will be volatile. But if you're not there for the 14, 21 days that it explodes, and those are the gains, you lose out. But you can't time it. You got to put time into it. That's what Bitcoin is. You don't time Bitcoin, you put time into Bitcoin. That's how it goes. Anyway, welcome aboard on Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Day number 18,997 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,780 since the Canes were national champions. We had a shot to reset that clock. We had a shot to reset the clock. By the way, I made a mistake, but I'm not going to correct it. Somebody put out there, and I didn't know because I didn't listen to all the press conference, everything he said, but it said Carson Beck, and it says, I didn't shake hands because I didn't think I owed anybody or something like that, which he did not say it, by the way. He did not say it. Let me read it right. Let me read the wrong quote right. It says, I don't know anybody a handshake after losing a national championship. I owe myself a standard I play to. And apparently he did not say that. But his actions is all I need, because that's kind of what you said. So, and we hold everybody to the same standard. That's the beauty of hockey. Those guys kill themselves for 60 minutes. They slam each other against the wall. They concuss each other. They mess each other. They fight. And then at the end, they all shake hands. That's how it's done. That's sportsmanship. So, in a way, it kind of became karma, because your actions were louder than those words anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking of taking it down, but I go, yeah, but the asshole did it. He didn't shake his hand. And Mendoza proved that he was a better player and better person, because that's what, look at Mark Fletcher. And I defend Mark Fletcher, and he swung at some dude, but I You know who Mark Fletcher is. If he swung at that dude, he must have said something really, really out of line. And I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem with Carson Beck. Yeah, I do. You choked at the end. You threw a ball you shouldn't. You might be disappointed in yourself. You should be. But you got to go shake the other guy's hand. You got to go congratulate the coach. You got to do the professional thing. And you didn't do the professional thing. So it is what it is, as they say. Anyway, lots of things. He got it done against the Kings last night. So, Sean Stanley, give the Miami Heat a victory cigar. All right. Nice job by them. They beat a scrub team. They're the Dolphins. They're the Dolphins, man. You know, our description of the Miami Heat has been on point. From 04 to 14, that was the 70s. From 15 to 25, that was the 80s. And here comes the 90s. Yeah, it's just, you know how progressively worse the Dolphins have gotten decade after decade? That's exactly the Heat are progressively getting worse decade after decade. You know, this decade, they made a couple of finals that they didn't win, just like the Dolphins in the 80s made a couple of finals that they didn't win. And they also probably didn't belong there. You know, the strike year helped one year, and the other year was a really shitty conference. And so everybody was going to get trashed. It was just your turn to get trashed because the AFC was trash. You were just the best out of the trash, and San Francisco trashed you because you're trash. So, you know, kind of that's what it was. In those days, those of you that are too young, the NFC dominated for like a decade. In the 80s into like almost into the early 90s. Into the early 90s. No, maybe even almost into the mid 90s. The NFC just walloped. They were winning most of the championships if you go back and look. So that was, you know, it didn't matter. We just were the ones that made it in 85 with Marino, but it didn't matter. San Francisco was 100 times better. So we just went through the 80s for the Heat. Now you are in the 90s. So those of you that lived the Dolphins, you now get to live the Heat, their demise as the, you know, the Shula, the Riley era gets older and more stale. And unfortunately, I have to say it that way because that's what the Heat have become. Sorry, you know, I'm not saying to fire anybody or anything, but I'm going to tell you, you can't do your job anymore. I am going to tell you that. You know, just going to tell you that. You're not a good owner anymore, and you're not a good front office anymore. Sorry. You guys have different agendas, and they're not about all out winning like it used to be. You're not willing to sacrifice, you know, and in this league, you must sacrifice to get better, and they refuse. They want to stay middling, and they think they can go from middling to great, and in this league, you can't go middling to great. You can't keep tripping into the playoffs and then think that at any moment you'll become a champion. No, that was the old system. The new system, you got to tear it down. So, unfortunately, you got old, you got stale. You didn't change, just like Shula didn't, and we suffer and we watch. We watch a great organization become mediocre. We've done it with the Dolphins. We're now doing it with the Heat. It is what it is. So, you know, it's like that OKC win. It was fun, but did it really mean anything? No. It's just, you know, a magical day out of Spo and all that kind of stuff. And it was a good moment to shut the idiots up about the whole Ware thing and all that. Ware needs, like, the guy's been here forever, Spo. Everybody earns their keep. That's just kind of the way it goes, dude. You know? I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with Riley and company, and I have a problem with Harrison. I don't have a problem with Spo. I have a problem with their personnel department and ownership. That's what I have a problem with. They are not doing the job. They are not willing to go where we are. Because I'd rather you tear it down than watch this. Because if you tear it down, I'm excited. You're getting all first rounders. You got a shot to inject youth, and you got a shot to get a young star. You do it this way, I know you're going nowhere. And that part sucks. That part sucks. It sucks for us as fans because you know that there's a better way of doing things. So, but congratulations on the win. You're still hanging around 500, 23-21. Bam had 25. Paul had 22. Larson had 16, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, and had to stand up to DeMar DeRozan. He's amazing to keep his cool the way he has, because he takes some dirty shots. I'm hoping that once he crosses that threshold and he becomes a player, that in those moments he'll deliver another blow to a guy like DeMar DeRozan, instead of being, the more professional out of it. Is that once in a while you need to kind of really let him have it. And he can't keep taking shit from people, but I get it where he's at right now. And so I get what he's trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish. But man, that is, see what I'm saying? I don't really enjoy watching the Miami Heat. I enjoy watching individuals on the Miami Heat that I want to build on and go move forward. And Larson's one of the reasons why I watch the Miami Heat. Bam and Tyler are reasons why I'm frustrated with the Miami Heat, because they're not supposed to be on this team anymore. They should have been gone, especially Tyler 2 years ago, and Bam should have been gone for several picks already. But, they have a tendency of now hanging on to things like Jimmy Butler, and they lose the value. And that's what you're going to end up doing here. You already hung on to Tyler, and you lost the value that you had when he played the whole year. Horrible. Their foresight is absolutely terrible nowadays. They have zero foresight. It's a shame. Really, it's a shame what's gone on with the Miami Heat. Really, really shame. All right. On the Dolphins side, by the way, Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program, 954-966-4646. 2 lawyers that you could count on, folks. Bookend tackles. We had an experience with Progressive several years ago, and we had some kids that thought they were fast and furious and went through the wall of our house, and Progressive wasn't living up to their responsibilities. Welton Rayom brought them to their knees. Several of our listeners all over Florida, by the way, have called Welton Rayom. They have their own adjusters. So if you suffer any kind of damage, they will send their adjusters. The insurance adjusters work for them. Never call the insurance company when you have damage. You call Welton Rayom first. They send their adjusters, and then they attack the insurance company on your behalf. You know what it is? You never have to deal with the insurance company. All you do is pick up a check at Welton Rayom. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Tell them that Big O sent you. Welt and Rayom. All right. You know what? Let me see what we got here. NorCal is number 1, I see on the chat board. Alexis, Jeff in Long Island. Daniel Berry, Rosendo, Gus 1388. Jay Song, couldn't agree more about McDaniel needing to be fired, but do you see Harbaugh letting him call plays if he doesn't or can? Well, for what you're talking about, McD, hey, walk me through this. Didn't all these national insiders tell me and you that Mike McDaniel was a hot head coach candidate? There are 10 jobs open, let's say 9 because Harbaugh took one. How come he didn't get one? But I thought he was like how can you be a hot head coach candidate and 10 teams don't? A third of the league is available, But those guys all told me he was super hot. NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, CBS. Yeah, I heard he was such a hot head coach candidate. What happened to all those interviews? Did the ums and ahs and all rights burn him out? Did they fall asleep halfway through it? I can't wait for this clown show to continue because I am not anywhere where some of you might be. Oh, no, he'll be fine as an offensive coordinator. He's a fucking disaster. Some guy on Twitter goes to me, no, he'll be fine. He'll be an excellent offensive coordinator. I go, excellent offensive coordinators know when to stay with the run, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Excellent offensive coordinators, his players will be lined up and not making penalties on a consistent basis. Pre-snap penalties, motion penalties, running the wrong routes. What the hell are you talking about? So, good. I can't wait to see this combination. Great. He'll have a mobile quarterback now in Justin Herbert. So he'll have a mobile quarterback that'll throw pick sixes. That's fantastic. I can't wait for this. I am looking forward to Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator. That guy's a position coach at best. He's there to help design plays. He doesn't know how to run an offense. He proved while he was here that he wasn't an offensive coordinator or a head coach. That's what people around the league didn't see. Even my boy, Ian Rappaport, much love to Ian, but it doesn't matter who you are. Okay, I can like you, I can love you, I can be friends with you. If I disagree with you, I'm going to tell you I disagree with you. And if I think you're wrong, I'm sorry, I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to tell you you're wrong. But like Ian Rappaport, he says, he wasn't given enough down there. That's a bunch of bullshit. Ian Rappaport and many others did not watch every game of the Miami Dolphins. He was given more than enough to win more games than he won. That's the bottom line. Was he given a championship team? Who the hell said he was a championship coach? That's kind of stupid. Don't tell me that he needed a championship team. I watched him. He's not a championship coach. Mike Vrabel's a championship coach. But this guy's not a championship coach. So please, he was given more than enough talent to win more games than he did this year, more games than he did last year, more games than he did the year before. That's the bottom line. He lost games that he shouldn't have lost. That tells me you're not good enough. The guy in the basketball team wins more games than he's supposed to win, considering how weak the front office and ownership is of the Miami Heat. So I cannot wait to watch this disaster. And I'm not sure how it's going to work, those two. Okay? Not sure how that's going to work. It doesn't seem like the right fit to me, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Okay? We'll find out. I definitely know that McDaniel and Herbert, they're two softies, so they do kind of go together. So that's good. But I can't wait to watch that disaster. Oh my God, that's going to be entertaining. Let's see what else. Thank you, Rosendo. I appreciate it. It was a simple surgery, man. It's not a big deal. The only thing that today they drugged me, and so I was like, I wasn't ready to do a show. Like, you got to have your mind, and you got to be rested and all that, so you can think and talk, and I just was not able to do it earlier today because that dope. I wish I had. You can't do it, but man, you sleep so sweet. That was the other thing, that I was sleeping and I was like, man, this is some of the best shut-eye I've gotten in months. Oh, let's see. Big Johnson, good evening to you, sir. Oz, thank you. He says, we're just glad the surgery went well for you. Big O can see a bit of sleep in your eyes, but that's why we watch the Big O show. We get everything raw and uncut. Yes. Yeah, this isn't a podcast. We podcast it, but it's not a podcast. I like doing live and raw and whatever mistakes and whatever it is. And that's how I've been my entire life. I've done live radio. And so that's why I kept it that name, Big O Radio Show, because you when you watch it, it's like a radio show because it's live. It's not podcasted. It's not dressed up and edited and cleaned up and all those things. I'm not like that. I'm a human being, so I'm going to make mistakes, and I'd rather make mistakes. It happens, and we'll correct them, and we move along, and that's it. Let's see what else. And thank you for tuning in. Lisa Rose, thank you. Rosendo. Big O, you really know your food. Well, I'm fat. Fat people know food, bro. Brett says one of the benefits of hockey fights is that it takes an instant anger out of the combatants and emotions out of the teams so they can shake hands after a series. The players, police. Yeah, you know what? Brett, that's how we grew up. You'd end up fighting in the park, and then, they break it up, whatever, and you get over it and you move on. And you're playing the next day, and you're hanging out the next day, and that's kind of the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to be. Life used to be like hockey. Now it's not. No, let's go get a gun and let's go do stupid stuff and, and all that and, whatever. So, it's society's gotten really stupid. I mean, Trump and Biden. So all you need to know how stupid society is, So, yeah, it's sad, dude. It's sad. By the way, I get it that Bob went all the way across, but it didn't live up to the hype, bro. It was a terrible fight. I get it. I don't understand the over exuberance, the oh my God, did you see it? Yeah, I saw it. And what? Yeah, Bob got mad and you never see him that and he went all the way across, but it wasn't a fight that it was like I was watching Mayweather and Pacquiao. I didn't see anything there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see something, okay, but it's nobody really connected. They were bad boxers on the ice, and it's really hard to box on the ice. Jamie Zoria in San Jose, hitting it on hump day. The realist. Sean Williams, Dolphin Dave, Dr. Quit. Last year, he won 7 with whatever you call quarterback. Well, what about 20? No, last year he should have won 3 to 5 more games. If you go back and look at it, I did it all last year and talked about the games he should have won. He should have won 3 to 5 more games last year. That's how bad of a coach he was. So, anyway, what else? Karoon, you snapped out of the anesthesia pretty fast. 1 Benadryl takes me out like an elephant tranquilizer. Well, I'm a big guy too, so it's I don't know, but I got rest. I got my chicken biscuit. I got out of surgery before Chick-fil-A shut down breakfast, so I got a chicken biscuit in. That really made my morning, by the way. It doesn't make my morning waking up at 4 a.m, taking a shower in a freezing ass temperatures and all that kind of shit. That stuff did not get me going. But when I got out of surgery and I was able to hit Chick-fil-A before it was over, that was sweet. I like it. Devin, Bam has been playing better. Yeah, trade him. Trade him now because that won't last. Dolphin Dave says, I'm with you, Big O. Chargers are going to be a clown show. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. True Finn fan. Both pointing knuckles on hands have been pushed back from all the fighting back in the day. Now it's I'd rather talk about it and fart it out. There you go. Fart it out is better. A fart contest. That's how you settle things. It's how you settle it. Whose nose hairs burn off first? RSL says it's fun because it's never happened, and seeing the goalies go at it with the gear on, it's entertaining. Yeah, but I want to fight. You know what I mean? Like you skated all the way over there. It was like a weak tussle. You know, there was no connections. I need a connection. You know, Bob's got to practice. He's got to get better at this. So when he skates over, he connects at least once. You know, when I see these fights, I need to see a couple of, oh yeah, he got him on that one. You know, I need to see that. You can't skate all the way over there and not get a good shot in. So that's where I got to give Bob a negative. Sorry. All that effort and you didn't connect. That's just not good, bro. It's not good. No good. No good. Ocala Joe says, what kind of an idiot GM would look at McDummy and think, yeah, that's my new coordinator? Well, they did. Because, you know, I don't know if they really watch everything going on. You know, I don't know if, has Harbaugh seen him abandon the run? All right. Has Harbaugh seen him abandon the run? That's the question I have for you. So, anyway, let's see what else. I would trade Tyler Hero before, but you can't now, Devin. You can't now. He's useless now. He's worthless. He's worthless. You had to trade him when we were Devin, you're hardcore, bro. You're here every day. Okay? You know, when he played that whole year, what did I say? I said at the trading deadline, bro, he's healthy. He's playing. Trade him. He played the whole year. And, you know, and I was going back and forth with Ira. Oh, no, maybe he's turned the corner. Oh, and I'm like, no, dude, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And Ira and most of the local writers, I'm pretty sure, okay, fell for the banana in the tailpipe, and they all kept writing, oh, and Tyler's looking better and all that. And so did the Heat, and here we are. The Heat effed up the value of Tyler Hero. The Heat effed up the value of Jimmy Butler. The Heat has no idea when to get off the gravy train. The Bam Adebayo gravy train is now time to get off, bro. You don't want to start getting off in years 10 and 11 and 12 because that player playing that kind of defense does not age well. I've watched it over the years. Those guys will not be able to move the same. They have taken hits. They have taken punishment because that's what Bam does a lot. He takes it against undersized people and all. I mean, he's undersized against other guys. This is going to age badly. It's like the whole Giannis thing, Devin. The same bullshit. We're going to trade for, now's when you're going to trade for Giannis? No, dumbass. You don't trade for a guy like that at this time. His skills and his body are going to start declining because they got all the best of him already. It's like, and it's clear as day to me, yet others don't see it. Jimmy Butler, how many times did I say to you people, his little body's worn out, it's breaking down? Well, there you are, bro. Half a season and a torn knee ligament, he's done. Not that I'm wishing on it, but this is who he was. And that's our problem right now. The Heat and the Dolphins, maybe now new management will do better, but they had no idea when to get off the gravy train also. And it's tough decisions that you have to make as a team, but they're the smart decisions. We all used to go, man, Belichick, he would get off the gravy train at the perfect time. He would trade players at the perfect time. And every time he traded a player, that player, it didn't matter who he was. Lawyer Malloy, the offensive lineman he traded to Detroit that he's on ESPN all the time. He went downhill. Logan Mankins, he traded to Tampa for like a third or second rounder, and he went right downhill after that. Damian Woody, all these guys, he would trade them right before the bottom fell out, and he got the max out of them. And that was super genius that he kept doing that. And the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins, they have no idea how to do this. None. X had injuries and off the field issues. He gets 10 interceptions in the latter part of his career, and all of a sudden you're going to keep him? No, dude, this is the moment you trade him. And this is not hindsight. Anybody that's listened to the show for years, you know I did it. And I was the evil man, right? All the Dolphin fans are screaming at me, you're an asshole, you're a loser. How would you trade X? He had 10 interceptions and all that. And then now what? And then after Butler made the second trip to the finals, I said, trade him now. Oh, I'm an asshole. I'm this, I'm that. You don't know what you're talking about. And guess what? The Heat, the Dolphins, and all of you that defended them didn't know what the hell you were talking about. And the writers. So you got to know when to get off the gravy train. And they are terrible at it, dude. And have been terrible at it for a while. And that's why the Miami Heat has become the Miami Dolphins. Okay? So you enjoyed from 2004 to 2014 the 70s. From 15 to 25, you enjoyed the 80s. And guess what? Here comes the 90s. They are getting worse by the decade. So that's why they get worse by the decade, because they don't adjust. In a fart contest, True Fin Fan would be the overwhelming favorite in the Vegas and Kashi lines. You got to throw in Kashi also now, Brett. It's not just Vegas. Okay, got to throw in Kashi now. I haven't made a bet yet on Kashi at all. Haven't even gone to the website yet. But everybody talks about it. Let's see. Were you going to say something there, Sean? Did I see you click in? No? Okay, my bad. Let's see. What else do we have? You don't think the organization looked at every game he coached probably the past 2 years? Yeah, well, did you see the Jets hire Adam Gase? Did you see the Dolphins hire Mike Tannenbaum? You know. Yeah, no, these by the way, we're talking about the Chargers. Like Dean Spanos has no history of being anything smart or anything like that. So we'll see. But hey, that's all right, dude. You know, we'll find out. is OC says, Big O, I'm starting to build out my Bitcoin. Any other crypto I should look at in addition to Ethereum? I don't know what's value right now. Let me see what a value. Let me look and see. Not financial advice, but it's but I'm involved in it. Okay, so that I can tell you. If I'm telling you something, it's because I'm involved in it also. I think Hedera at 11 cents is actually value, to be quite honest. Okay, Hedera has got one hell of a network. So at 11 cents right now, I think Hedera is one that you can look at and look at value. Caspa right now, I think Caspa is in the early days of Bitcoin. So we're a couple of years away because we're now getting educated on Bitcoin and people will now start using Bitcoin, but there's only 21 million. So there's 8 billion people on Mother Earth. They will not be able to all use Bitcoin when it's all said and done. So Caspa is created in the same way as Bitcoin. No CEO and nothing has been given away. It's no pre-mine, none of that. There's no government involved. There's no nothing. It's exactly like Bitcoin, except there's actually 27 billion, I think it is. So it's actually, there's more and it's made to be more cash. Whereas I believe Bitcoin will end up becoming store value more than anything else. It'll be used as cash in third world countries in certain parts, and certain folks will use it, but mainly it'll be used as store value when it's all said and done as the years go on, because the rich will end up all owning it as they buy it off the poor and the middle class. That's what's going to end up happening with Bitcoin. And so Caspa, I believe, will become cash. And then its value will soar also. Like Bitcoin, no. But it's going to go to several dollars, maybe even to 100, something like that. And where it's at now, 10 cents, I think 4 cents. 4 cents is it was at 20 cents. 4 cents, I think, is also value too. I would say Avalanche, I think at 1251 is also value. I think Avalanche's ecosystem is absolutely sick. But again, I gave you one that's 4 cents and one that's 11 cents. This is now $12.51 right now. So, all depends on how you want to look at it. Okay. Those are three. Let's see. What are we talking about here? What else? White man from town somewhere in the forest. I can hear Troy Aikman laughing, counting his money and assuring the Cowboy fans that Miami won't be a threat for years to come. Well, I don't know, dude. John Eric Sullivan might be a hell of a GM, and Jeff Hafley might be a hell of a coach. I don't know. I'm not going to I've only heard good things. I haven't heard any real bad things from either guy at all. So let's let it play out. They'll have their press conference. They'll give you all the stuff. Let's follow the actions. Let's see how they build the team. Let's see how they coach it. Let's see how they develop it. And then we'll find out. Listen, it's a shit organization. It can only go up. Okay? It can't get any worse than it already has been under Stephen Ross. And the only hope we have is dumb luck. Let's hope that these idiots actually made the right decision and John Eric Sullivan knows what the hell he's doing. Let's just hope. That's all we can do right now. You know what I mean? But when they hired Joe Philbin, I heard a lot of bad shit. So I was super negative from the get-go. I haven't heard any bad shit about this guy. And John Eric Sullivan has got an impeccable resume. Now, you're coming from one place only. So you didn't get to showcase your skills in different places where you really kind of build your name in different places. You're going to come from one place where since you've been there for 20 years, you have developed a lot of goodwill. So a lot of good is going to come out of it. I still have somebody in the building, and they couldn't say a bad thing about either guy. So that's it. Let's give them a chance. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to give them a chance. We're going to find out if they can do it. And in a couple years, we'll know where we stand. And we'll know if we're back to square one or we're actually making some progress. But I'm not going to shit on these guys and give up on them right now when they haven't done anything. They haven't screwed up. They're actually welcomed because they're replacing what we didn't really want. Okay. Anyway, what else? Big O, for not being a financial advisor, you sure give a lot of good financial advice. I guess experience and common sense just might help. I mean, maybe not, whatever, I'm up several 100% on Bitcoins. It's not like I'm giving you bad advice. So, just look at what's going on, dude. We just printed 2.5 trillion in 2025. We added 2.5 trillion to our debt. He's on pace. Like I said whoever got in, a Democrat or Republican will print 10 trillion and add to our debt. He printed 2.5 in the first year. Okay? So all we're doing is adding to our debt and what's called watering down our dollar. We're devaluing it. They're dumping our debt. So, Bitcoin is only going to get right now where it's being manipulated by the rich because they're doing this stuff where they're shaking out the longs and shaking out the shorts and all that because they want to scare us, the middle class and the poor, from selling, and then they gobble it up. And it's what I tell you, there's a wealth transfer going on in this country right now, and in the world too, because the amount of gold that's being bought, the amount of silver and all of that, people are hiding their money in assets because the yen, the dollar, the mark, whatever it is, the euro, the pound, everything is dying. The Swiss franc is the only one that's getting so empowered. It's ridiculous. But everything else is dying because it's all being manipulated and reprinted. So it doesn't matter if you own a yen or a franc or whatever it is. They're just printing them like it's going out of style, the peso or whatever, whatever the name of the lira or whatever the hell the names of all these dollars are. They're all getting printed out of hell and they have no value, So eventually everybody will go to a different kind of money, because the money that all these governments produce is all illegal. It's dirty, and that's what we live. We live with dirty money that they devalue, and then that's where our real inflation comes from. But hey, man, it is what it is. What else? I remember Ross calling Philbin a young Don Shula. What an idiot! Yeah, yep. Rivian is at 16.5, down from 23. I think it'll be 45 by 12/31/26. It's Rivian is one of those electric companies that is just gaining power more and more and more. Okay, the only other company in the electric business that is gaining more is BYD, but it's not allowed to be sold here in the United States. And BYD is dominating in the world. They passed up Tesla in Europe now. BYD is the number one electric car in the world. And Rivian is dominating and growing here like crazy. And so, yeah, that's also a very good, and others are dropping out. So that's opening it up even more for Rivian. So there you go. Big O, I give this guy 1 year. You can't, Trent. You can't do that. I mean, unless they're so bad that they do like horrible decisions that you're like, whoa, what are these people thinking or something? Then maybe, I guess, but you've got to be really incompetent for 1 year. We got to give them a couple years, at least 2-3 years. We'll find out exactly what they're all about. The first year, dude, they've got so much cap issues and so many limitations. It's not going to be fair to judge them. You could judge some of their personnel decisions, draft picks and things like that, as they develop them throughout the year. But it's hard to develop the overall team when you have so much cap issues. And please don't use Denver as an example, because what people don't realize is that before Peyton got there, there was already a young nucleus on the defensive side that was already drafted and in the process of being developed. So he kind of lucked in that a bunch of those guys were draftees and they weren't even being paid yet. And now they're going to start getting paid now, actually. And so then that'll start to create some issues. You know what I mean? But it was kind of like a perfect storm. And Sean did a great job. And the Bo Nix kid has really way better than I expected, by the way. I was dead wrong on Bo Nix because I didn't think much of Bo Nix coming out of college. I got to be honest. So I'm dead wrong on Bo Nix. I'll tell you when I'm right and I'll tell you when I'm wrong. But the Denver situation was kind of like a perfect storm. Like, they're not going to have that perfect storm next year here. So they're going to struggle, and it's going to be a rough season. But we can measure how they handle some of this adversity to see if they're going to be really good down the line. You know what I mean? But we got to be fair, got to give them 2 or 3 years to kind of see what's going on and what's developing and how they coach week in and week out and, all that. Got to have a little look, I get it, dude. You're a Dolphins fan. There's no patience. You're sick and tired of these people. They're Stephen Ross is a disgrace. He's a loser. I don't care what he's done in real estate. You bought the Dolphins. You're a loser. You're a disgrace to this town. I get it. You make tons of money off of us, but you're a disgrace. And that's the way I look at Stephen Ross. So, but let's see. I got to give these two gentlemen some time to prove that they belong. I'm not going to give them a year. That's crazy. Devin says, I don't know what to think of this new Dolphin regime next year. This Hadley guy reminds me of Philbin. I'll let it play out. Yeah, you can't. He's different than Philbin personality-wise. You'll see it. He's a lot different than Philbin in that sense. But, again, he might be as bad as Philbin, or he might be 10 times better. I don't know, man. I don't know. Daniel Guzman says, they keep printing, and I'll keep buying Bitcoin. Smart man. Exactly, Rosendo. They might surprise us as a GM and a coach. Hey, by the way, let's also do this. Okay? Let's all do this together. Maybe you found a hell of a GM. Maybe he didn't find a great coach. But maybe you did find a GM that is loaded up and loading up with talent. We say, okay, he's got to find a better coach because the team is loaded. Or maybe you found maybe you have the Heat situation where you have a hell of a coach, but not a great front office anymore. That could also happen too. Now, you and I hope that we found a great GM and a great head coach, but leave your mind open that you might have hit only on one of the two also. Okay? In a perfect world, we want 2 for 2. Okay? But let's also keep your mind open when you're watching everything, and when you want to lay blame on something, be fair in it. Because maybe the front office guy is doing his job, he just got the wrong coach. Because I know Chris Greer would still be here. Him, Reggie, and Marvin would still be here if they got the right coach from the beginning. But they failed on both their coaches, and it was over. You're not going to get, how many times I tell you, you're not going to get a chance to hire your third. Some people add Greer to Gase, but Tannenbaum was in charge in those days. Give me a break. So, this, you weren't going to get a chance to hire another one. It's over, bro. It's over. And, it is what it is. I told them that they would not get a chance to hire the third one. Bro, it's not going to happen. Not going to get your third. That guy, as I told you guys over the years, I told them, hey, he's going to get a bunch of you fired. So, got him fired. It is what it is. So let's keep an open mind, and let's see what happens either way. All right? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. We appreciate it immensely. Dolphins have put in a request to interview special teams coach Carlos Polk. So you'll have another special teams coach, which was expected, of course, with the new coach in. What else do we have? We await the John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley pressers. What they talk is not really that important to me. It's what they do is what's going to be really, really important to me. By the way, Mark Cuban, I don't know if you guys saw this, he's willing to pay Fernando Mendoza the equivalent of a first-round pick, $39.4 million, with a $25.5 signing bonus, so they can run it back next year. You know what I didn't know, Sean? He actually has another year of eligibility. I didn't know that, or because he's one of those COVID kids, he can request for another year. Is that what it is? I'm a little ignorant there on that one. I'm not exactly sure, but if Mark Cuban's saying this and doing this, it's because he must know that he could get another year of eligibility. Now, if that's the case, and look it up for me, Sean, if you're Fernando Mendoza and you're going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, and next year's class has more quarterbacks involved, I know that it's great to get the money and come back for another run, but you could suffer a long-term injury. You could have a setback of a year where you're not as good, and then there's other quarterbacks, and you drop out of number one. Okay. That's a very interesting decision for Fernando Mendoza. Very interesting decision. That was terrible. That was terrible. So that is, yes, sir.
Going off what's said here, it says he has no college eligibility left.
So he would have to. Did he have a red? Did he ever get red shirt? Well, no.
It says he started at Cal.
Would it matter?
He played as a red shirt sophomore.
Yeah.
Then he transferred to Indiana. And
but there must be something that they know that he could get a year from something. There's something there. There must be some loophole or something that he knows of that he could get one more year. I'm wondering that COVID stuff, because this was the last year of the COVID stuff. I don't think next year is any more COVID stuff. I don't think there's any more extensions for next year. That's where I have to plead ignorance. I don't know all the rules in that sense. I'd be lying to you if I told you that I knew. All right, what else do we have going on? Let's get to our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar and the great Alan Blanco. Yes, sir.
Oh, real quick. It looks like he transferred in 24 as a redshirt sophomore. So that means he would have played the 25 season. So he actually should have a year of eligibility left, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
If that works out that way, 26 would be his last season.
Dude, there's no way Cuban's offering this and not knowing that he has one more year. I mean, he knows everything about the program. He's a booster. He's a big supporter. He was there at the game. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if Cuban's doing it. It's because he's already looked into it and the guy can get one more year. But, man, that is an interesting decision. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco, at 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. Dolphins request interview with special teams assistant Carlos Polk of the Dallas Cowboys. The Miami Heat last night defeated the Kings 130-117. Bam led the way with 27 points and 7 rebounds. They've got Thursday. They will be at Portland at 10 o'clock. Thursday night, the Panthers are back in action. They will host the Senators at Amerant Bank Arena. Fort Lauderdale United enjoying the month off. They're back on January 31st. They will take on Lexington SC at 7:30. They're at Beyond Bankcard Field. You can get your tickets, by the way, for the second half of the season at FTLUTD.com. And as we just mentioned, Mark Cuban has offered Fernando Mendoza a signing bonus of over $25.5 million to run it back and come back with the Indiana Hoosiers. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right. Let's see. I'm 32 years old and haven't seen any good football. I'm so sick of it. Yeah. No, I get it, bro. You're young. It's tough. Young people have not had a good experience with the Canes and the Dolphins. At least now you've got a chance with the Canes because Mario has got at least, I'm not saying they're back, but they're pretty close to it already at this point. And that's pretty cool. At least you've got a real college football team. The pros, we'll see. Let's do a little birthdays here. Let's start off with musicians born on this date. Emma Button, Baby Spice, born in 76. Let's see. Who else? Jam Master Jay, Jason Mizell, born in 1965. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2002 when he was murdered. Let's see. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Robert Brill, drummer with Berlin, born in 1956. Nigel Glocker, drummer with Saxon, born in 54. Billy Ocean and his Caribbean Queen, born in 1950. Mac Davis, baby, born in 1952. North Dallas 40. Gross. Gross is when you go kiss your grandpa to sleep and he sticks his tongue down your throat. That's gross. Richie Havens, singer, songwriter, born in 1941. Plácido Domingo, singer, Spanish opera singer, conductor, born in 1941. Hey, this is Wolfman Jack, and today was my birthday, and I was born in 1938. And here is the rondelles and the chandelles. Telly Savalas, who loves you, baby, born in 1922. Yeah, baby, singer, actor, who loves you. Theo Kojak, that is musicians born on this date. Let's see with other famous people. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Like Confederate General Stonewall Jackson, born in 1824. I was just hanging out with him recently. Russian mystic Grigory Rasputin, born in 1869. Fashion designer Christian Dior, born in 1905. Comedian Benny Hill, born in 1924. World Hall of Fame member Jack Nicklaus, born in 40. He is 86 today. Let's see. Jill Eikenberry, LA Law, born in 47. She's 79. Musician Jimmy Ibbotson from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, born in 47. He's 79. Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, born in 53. Actor Robbie Benson, one-on-one, born in 56. He's 70. Gina Davis, born in 56. She's 70. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, born in 63. The Hall of Famer is 63. Who else? Mark Trojanowski from Sister Hazel, born in 70. He's 56. Chris Kilmore from Incubus, born in 73. He's 53. And comedian actor John Early, born in 88. He's 38. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir. Alex Kozlov is 42. Arnold Skolin was born on this date in 1925. Ivan Putski, the Polish power, turns 85 today. Jack Tunney was born on this date in 1935. Maurice turns 43. Shuji Kondo is 48. Tigress turns 55. And Steph DeLander, she's 29, on January 21st, 2026.
Yep, there we go. And True Fin Fan, yes, sir. Thank you for the super chat. He says, didn't his brother hit the portal? Doubt he stays. No, he already committed. I think it's Georgia Tech, I want to say. Can you look it up? Beto Mendoza, I think he committed to Georgia Tech. He
went to Georgia Tech, and Indiana has already signed transfer portal TCU quarterback earlier in the portal as well.
Right. Yeah, they already had their next quarterback, and it wasn't going to be Mendoza. So Mendoza went to Georgia Tech. So he hit the portal. And by the way, Malachi Tony has hit the portal also. But that's kind of expected. It's not, I don't think that he's leaving. It's just you have to hit the portal to renegotiate a deal. You know, that's all. You hit the portal and you start getting offers everywhere, and then that raises the offer that you're going to get in your place. It's business, dude. You know, just smart business. Malachi Tony's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, that's what it is. So hopefully everything will work out, and I'm sure they'll pay his ass because they have no choice. What else do we have? Daniel Guzman says nothing but cap hell and 5 to 7 wins for the Finns next 2 seasons. I have zero expectations for the team. And that's the beauty, because you should have no expectations for the team. And so if Hafley does better than that, then we're in. Done deal. The Chiefs have agreed to terms with Eric sleeping with Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator. Coming off the worst season of Patrick Mahomes' era, Andy Reid brings back a familiar face in Bieniemy, who was part of 2 Super Bowl wins in KC. So sleeping with Bieniemy is back as OC. Looks like he won't be a head coach because no matter what, there's something there that just doesn't jive, and I don't know what the hell it is, to be quite honest. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Chainlink donation. Jay Ellingsworth, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. He says, Mendoza will be rich, but going to Mark Davis's Raiders is probably worse than going to the Dolphins. He's an awful owner. That's why the thing is very interesting, but you're also risking, okay? Because you still could end up with the Raiders next year. Jay Ellingsworth sends in another Venmo. Thank you for your generosity, sir. He says, there are so many idiot fans out there. Nobody knows what we got in Sully and Halfley. Let's just be happy we got new blood in there 100%. God, that is so true. Let's pump the brakes on the hatred. I'd love to see the Finns pursue Malik Willis. A small sample, but he's done some nice things the last 2 seasons. The only thing I worry about Malik is he's a running quarterback. And while he had some moments, he got injured right away, and he barely played. And so that's where I have an issue with Malik, that I barely know who he is, and he's barely played, and he hasn't shown me any durability, and he's a running quarterback. So I just would worry how much I have to pay him. Look, you're not going anywhere for the next 2 years, so taking a chance on Malik Willis is not the end of the world. Let me phrase it right. But I don't know what to expect from him because it's too much of a small sample size, and he was in a real comfort zone when he played. And he started off really well. He didn't continue to play that way. The first couple of passes were magical, and after that, it wasn't nearly as good. So you got to kind of look at it. So I'd be a little careful on that one. You know, I just wouldn't commit a lot of money. I get it. You have no quarterback, so you got to try something. But I just wouldn't commit a lot of money to this kid because it's still too raw. And again, he's not even close to durable. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Let's see. John says, just got out of work. Was excited to see you live. Thank you, sir. Well, maybe I'll have surgery every day so I can go live every day later on. Wonder what the odds are for the Dolphins to win a playoff game next year. Whatever it is, you can bet against it because they got no shot at making any playoffs. Nobody's fool. Big O, why did we sign a coach that gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter? Dude, he was missing a whole bunch of defensive players, especially his best player on defense was missing. So, you know, he was missing some stuff, and everybody has bad games. Doesn't mean you're a bad coordinator, bro. You know? So you got to go look at also the players that they were missing on defense. They were missing some key people on defense. It really took away from their defense. And they were playing a pretty damn good team, by the way. So, you know, it happens. It happens. Chicago is a better team than Green Bay this year. They were better. And they were healthier, too, on top of all of that. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you got to just Indiana, Miami. Miami made the mistakes, lost the game. Indiana played perfect football. They played smart. They played tough, smart, intelligent football the entire year. They get the credit, man. And Chicago made all year long, they made the plays they had to make. You know, they lived by the seat of their pants. They had a great defense, a running game. Quarterback needs to grow a lot, but the dude has a lot of magic in him. And so Green Bay wasn't better. At that moment, Green Bay wasn't a better team than Chicago. Green Bay should have lost to Chicago. That's all. So I don't really have a problem with that, you know. And I've only heard good things from Halfley. Do I know he could do the job? No, not at all. I don't know if John Eric Sullivan can do the job. Both have resumes to earn this position. Those are the facts. Halfley has developed enough of a resume to get a head coaching opportunity. And John Eric Sullivan has developed enough of a resume to become a general manager. Can they do the job? None of us will know. But we got to give them a chance. All right, we thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you on this odd time that I never do it. We'll be back actually again in the afternoon tomorrow because we're at Hialeah Park. Normally it's on Tuesdays, but we pushed it to Thursday this week. So tomorrow we'll be on at 2 o'clock from Hialeah Park, our old slot on Thursdays. So we'll have some fun. Casino Steve went 3-1 against the spread last week. So if you guys went with Casino Steve's picks, you won yourself some bucks. We'll see what his picks are this week. All right. We thank Sean. We thank all of you for tuning in, hitting the like button. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Hit that notification bell. You can make a donation anytime. Visit our amazing sponsors. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Same time. Same place. Same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.